I know you know what's going on in Afghanistan, and I'm late to the party. I've been busy or something like that, but I'm going to give you a perspective on what's happening, why it happened, and what can happen after, right? So what's happening? Here's what's happening. This, I believe, is a woman. There's a man standing on her neck, trying to stand on her neck and stomp on it. That's, a member of the Taliban. She might have been a translator. She might have been just a person. She's sitting there being beaten on the ground. Meanwhile, right next to her is, two other people that are being beaten. And this is happening all over Afghanistan as the Taliban is taking revenge on the citizens of Afghanistan that helped the U.S. Army. So let's break down the situation. Right, you had to go to Afghanistan, so on and so forth. You can't stay there forever. Listen, it's not a war, right? There's a difference between a war where we're storming the beaches of Normandy with 300, 400,000 troops and a war where 2,000 American soldiers are, in a reinforced Air Force base firing drones and destroying Taliban, keeping things under control. You got to make the difference between the two, right? It's a 20-year war, so what? We had to go there. We didn't ask to go there. We had to go there. Now that we were there, there's a course of action to take. If we wanted to come out, we wanted to come out. Here's what you do if you have any sense at all. Right? There's a lot to cover here. There's a lot of reality to unravel for the people that are blind, for them to see. If you're leaving, right? If you're leaving, would you take the soldiers out first and then the civilians last? I don't think so. Something is deeply wrong, right? If your leadership and they're, like right now they were doing in Afghanistan, gender studies and all this bullshit. It's really what I've been saying from the beginning. It's all a lie. It's all a facade, right? It's well-wishers and all of these dreamers and all of these people, when in reality, what you get is this. This is what they're really doing. And you have to open up your eyes for that because people accept it. Particularly Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. We did it, Joe. We did it. Trump is crazy. Remember the insurrection? Some woman is laying on the floor and a Taliban guy is standing there and jumping on her like this. And that's happening all over the place with 10,000 Americans, American citizens behind enemy lines. They gave up the airport. How could that have happened? Dreamers, Kamala and Joe, they said, all right, we're leaving Afghanistan. Don't ever blame that on Trump. Trump wanted a border wall. They wanted this. They wanted that. He canceled all of those things, Biden, and then he's blaming that Afghanistan, he had a deadline to leave. It's nonsense. If you're going to leave, take the citizens and take the people that you want out of there first. The translators, the people who helped you, the people who helped us fight a war. Help them get out. The people who's going to help us fight a war after they see this and translate behind enemy lines. Nonetheless, this nation, because Trump was tweeting a lot and did a lot of sad things, elected a senile old man under control of some dreamers. Those dreamers decided to wave a magic wand and say, bring the troops home, and that's that. Inconsiderate of what happens. The troops started leaving. Taliban took over right away. They took advantage of the situation. What's going to happen now? We don't know the latest news headlines just yet, right? We're going to find out. But here's what I think. This is a serious event. If the Taliban, right now the Taliban isn't doing all the killing and all this, they're just doing retribution because they don't want the U.S. to come back. But this is going to show a sign of how weak the United States really is. And now they might start taking advantage of that. They might start taking hostages. Then you have bars female news anchors from television. They're just going to start with the shit. It's going to go little by little, right? China's going to see it. There's a lot of talk of them about to take Taiwan. If they ever want to take Taiwan, it better be right now. While Joe Biden is sitting there, he's going to collapse, fall apart, right? So the moral of the story is this. What should have been done? You should have kept the troops there. You should have done drone warfare. You should have kept them in the caves, and you should have took the $1 trillion worth of minerals, took it, extracted it, invested in the people, took the money, paid for the wars, invested in our economy, and cut China out, and you got to play the game, right? You got to take a negative into a positive. Bin Laden was in Afghanistan. They hit us. We go there. We take over, take the minerals, help the people out, keep the peace, play the game, increase our ability to conduct drone warfare, knock it all out, make the money, give China the middle finger, done deal. No one's stomping on some woman's fucking neck on the floor. But that's not what you got with Joe Biden. That's not what you voted for because Trump made you sad. That's really what it is. I told people from the beginning, it ain't about Trump, it ain't about this. You got a crazy horse. It bites, it kicks, but it moves. That's what you had with Trump. You took a crazy horse and you trained it into a horse with 3 fucking legs. And now you're stuck in the middle of the desert with it. And you got to go over the mountains of whatever it is, into Kashmir, wherever the hell they're at over there. So, the Taliban are going to unravel. The situation's going to unravel. The key for Biden and what's going to happen is how many Americans are behind enemy lines and how they could suppress the news. 10,000 Americans, how are you going to get them out? How's the Taliban going to knock them down? What's probably going to happen? They're going to scramble. They're going to say, Taliban, take this, take that, here this, here that. We'll do anything for you. Just let it get out. And the Taliban might say, they might take it, they might gain power, and they might play further. China's going to give them a nickel for every dollar of the resources they take out. They won't care. They'll buy some missiles. They'll get aggressive. They'll do whatever they want. Billions and billions of dollars of U.S. military equipment left behind. Joe Biden's an ineffective president. You could have my left shoe as a better president than him. The people that are pulling the strings behind him don't know what they're doing. All that gender studies, all that shit is all a facade. It's all a lie. None of these people are good people. None of these people that are canceling people for saying a bad word or doing any of these are good people. They are worse. They're evil. They're seeing it, and they want to do evil things. Evil is running rampant everywhere, deceiving everyone. And some well-wisher, Joe, we did it in Kamala, and I'm this, and the here, and the this, and the that, rewriting history, and it's not a mom anymore, it's a pregnant person, right? It's not a woman, it's not this. It's all delusions, all monsters. I asked that woman that's laying on the floor if she thinks, man could get pregnant or so on and so forth. And remember, it's all power to, and all the happiness in the world should be esteemed to anybody who thinks they're a woman or a man or they're trans or they're this or that. But don't shove it down they want to shove it down your throat because they want you to say it, force you to sit here and say this and say that and hear this. It's about force. It's about pettiness. It's got nothing to do with caring about humanity. And in the end, all of that surfaced, all that hatred for Trump, the way he spoke and all that, he elected a president in a serious situation. The man is not going to make it. Nobody likes Kamala. She doesn't have the mental capacity to do anything. You got Chinese and you got the Taliban. Where are you in the world right now? Ask yourself. Where is this nation in the world right now? Sure, you could take a fucking fork and bring it to your lips and you don't give a fuck at the moment. But what if the fucking food on that fork isn't going to be there tomorrow? What are you going to think then? So this is the game. This is the big game that's being played out. The Afghanistan situation, the media is finally even turning on this fucking fool, Joe Biden. He doesn't have the mental capacity to do it. He never did. Anybody who believed he did has had the dignity to say that they're wrong. And they would have been better off. There was never any Russian collusion, Ukrainian bullshit. And anybody who believed that was a fucking fool. Anybody who believes Fauci is a fucking top scientist is a fucking fool. Anybody who believes Joe Biden is some fucking leader that's fucking knows what the fuck he's doing and Kamala is some fucking hero is a fucking fool. Anybody who believed Hillary Clinton was a decent human being is a fucking fool. Point blank. Not sitting here left, right, this, that. I get it. Trump's a crazy horse. He liked to fuck hookers or do whatever the fuck it was. So what? At least he could have fucking sat here and dealt with them. They would have feared him. You think the fucking Taliban is in a state of fear? And that $1 trillion that fucking China's going to get, they're going to turn you into a slave because of it. Remember that. They're not playing around. Gender this, gender that. They're enslaving you. And you're going to get fucked over for it. That's the reality. That's what happened out there. And then, you know what I'm saying? Do yourself a fucking favor. Open your fucking eyes before someone's stomping on your fucking neck.